Bam, we're live. Oh boy. Let's see how many phone calls I've already had this morning. I wonder how often they call. Oh, only 2 phone calls this morning. They start at 6:45 a.m. Crazy. I got feedback yesterday. I don't even know how to process it. Well, the crank calls are really funny, but there's too many, but they're really funny. I'm not setting the pace on those. I guess I decide when to answer. I guess Thor's daughter, Annie Thor's daughter, did a new podcast. I wonder how that's doing. Wonder is that? See if I can find. I need to start the show with music again. No, that's not right. Where? Oh, here it is. Oh, okay, okay. I see. I see. It's not. How many podcasts has she? This is. She's a guest on one. Um, she's a guest on one. It looks like it's a girl podcast. I haven't looked at it closely. I'll have to check it out later today. How is Annie and Catherine's podcast going? I think they stopped. Morning, Sevi. Did you try tallow yesterday? No, I need to. I did. You know what's funny when you said that is I did put before I put the Lotrimin on my ringworm, self-diagnosed ringworm. My wife brought me over some tallow and I put some tallow on. So I don't even have a good baseline. Maybe the tallow healed me and I thought it was the Lotrimin. What about that? Woke podcast boring. You're one of the 120 viewers who've already seen it. You already know, Rambler. Oh, Rambler, you got your name back again. You don't have that number. Oh, everyone's name is back to normal again, huh? That's so weird. I wonder what was going on. Hey, what happened in Vegas last night? I saw some crazy imagery from there. But I didn't even know Vegas had. I guess it makes sense. It's a desert. I didn't even know that they had like dust storms and shit. I saw some imagery of just like electric poles down everywhere. Dust storms down power lines of wild weather day in Las Vegas. How bad does it get? Let me see. How bad does this shit get? Nearly 50 power poles damaged in Las Vegas windstorm. 50. Holy shit. The ones I saw, I thought it looked like vandalism. It looked like they had been cut down. How does a power line come down in a windstorm? There's like no purchase on it. Doesn't the wind just blow around it? We're waking up to a city still reeling from the power windstorm that swept through the valley. I just want to know how fast it was. Is that like tornado winds? Strong winds and heavy downpours possibly as these storms move through. How fast? Does anyone know how fast? Uh, the story goes from how bad the weather is in Las Vegas to the crime in Las Vegas. Just like that. Bam. Strong winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour and rain. Really? 70-mile-an-hour winds take down telephone poles? Daniel Garrity, Arizona has much worse monsoon storms. Poles can snap around 80 to 90 miles an hour. Oh, I can. You know what, Mr. Robert Bulgalt? Oh, what if I just Google that? Um, how fast wind will snap telephone pole? Speaking like some broken English and shit. Typical wooden telephone pole, when new and properly installed, is designed to withstand winds of 90 to 100 miles an hour. All right. All right. Crazy. That's a new one. So I'll take your estimate of what you said 80 to 90 miles an hour. I'll believe you over Google because this is a new pole installed properly. Hey, has anyone had a good experience uh, with the government? With the government, I mean like the courthouse or the DMV or I'm trying to think where else, Social Security. Has anyone does anyone have good experiences there? Does anyone have bad experiences there? Oh, broken English. Hold on. Broken English. I'm trying to think what government operations, run well. This Mom Donnie guy wants to own government-run, supermarkets. By the way, this is what I think happens when they do government-run supermarkets. All that really means is the government doesn't actually run them. The government would contract someone to run them, meaning it becomes a good old boys club. It's like the mafia running shit. I'm tripping on all the stories I'm watching about the big beautiful bill and how people are hating on it. I guess Jeff Bezos had this wedding and I don't know how much. Let's see, how much did it cost? How much was Jeff Bezos wedding? Jeff Bezos wedding. When people talk about waste, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez wedding in Venice is estimated to have cost 47 to $56 million. I keep hearing all these people talking about what a waste it is, or they called something conspicuous consumption. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of when people keep calling Native Americans Native Americans. It's like, hey, when do you start the timeline? And first of all, why don't you just call them Chinese? That's what they really are. Oh, you say Laura Sanchez is unattractive. You say that, right? But dude, what does she look like? You say she's unattractive, but what does she look like? What does Laura Sanchez when you see her, what is her what does she communicate to you non-verbally? There you go. DSLs. There you go. What does she communicate to you? We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a second. W- what do you think happens to the money? Those people who think that billionaires are wasting money. What do you think happens to that money? How is that $56 million spent? Imagine this. The people who are complaining about billionaires, when he has a $56 million wedding. Oh, wait, what is this? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding. She doesn't have the same Mr. and Mrs. Bezos. Why does she have the same last name? Why doesn't she change her last name? Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. Lauren Bezos. Wedding in Venice is estimated to have cost 47 to 56 million. Forbes estimates the cost to be at least 20 million, but could be closer to 25 million. Uh, some estimates, including from the Veneto regional governor, I guess that's where he had the wedding, place the cost around 40 million to 48 million euros, which translates to 46 to 55 million dollars. She's a famous woman already. She ain't changing. Oh, shut up. She's a famous woman already. You know, fuck she's talking about. Uh, what do you think happens to that money? No one who lives in Veneto is complaining. He just employed 1,000 people to do his wedding. I was talking about this. Hi, Greg.
Buddy, what's up?
I was talking about this Lauren Sanchez Jeff Bezos wedding. You think she's going to change her last name to Bezos? Lauren Bezos? She's
I don't
supposed to.
know.
And I was tripping on all the news stories saying that the money's being wasted. It's like, dude, can you imagine living in that town and all that money coming to all the people there, the florists, the hotels, all the people are stoked when Leonardo DiCaprio tips someone $1,000, and now
Does he?
I don't know. I made that up. Don't ruin
Okay.
my. but but you know what I mean. Bill Gates is throwing $10 tips around. I just don't I don't I do get the waste thing because I come from that too. It was only you that educated me, that made me realize, oh yeah, shit, it's not being wasted. I got a buddy who for 28 years has set tables up at the Ritz Carlton, the St. Regis, and the Omni in San Francisco. That's what he does. He sets tables for rich people, and he makes $250,000 a year. And it's cool, and he bought a house in Berkeley. Oh, did you freeze, Greg? Is your internet?
No, no, no.
Oh.
What a good listener I am.
Oh. I didn't even see you blink.
Yeah. That's how you get out of a Zoom call. Just
Be perfectly still.
people go, I saw him blink. Fuck.
Is there any downside? Is that all completely misplaced
Yeah. Yeah. It's all just
angst
nonsense.
as opposed to him giving the money to what do they want him to do with the money? I would be ecstatic if I was in the wedding business or I lived in that town and someone came and threw a $50 million wedding there. That's awesome.
I was talking with my buddy Remy about the motion picture industry, the film industry, and that attack in Marseille over the electrical system protesting Cannes.
Oh, yeah. About a month ago, I remember that. Yep.
And cut some power lines, I guess, or tipped over some poles. And he was recalling all the friends he has that work in the industry. You know, sound, lighting, electrician, caterers. It's hundreds of thousands of people.
It reminds me of remember when
economic illiteracy, Sebby. That's what it is.
Say that again.
It's economic illiteracy.
Yeah,
which is a requirement for being a socialist.
Do you remember during the All-Star game one time? I can't remember the reason. It was for some BLM shit. In Atlanta got canceled. And so the city of Atlanta, which is like, the hotbed for blacks in this country, lost $50 million because they were protesting something Atlanta did, and all it did was hurt small black businesses in Atlanta. Like, that shit's so obvious to me. It's bizarre. Hurting the people you're supposed to be helping. Pat Lang, this topic is dumb. Everyone knows it's great when people spend money. Stop regurgitating morons who don't get it. Oh, Patty, half the country.
It's cool to see Pat lock onto something.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Does he work in entertainment?
Pat is I think he runs the lawn care at a golf course, like at a really fancy golf course.
Okay, so he's part of that economy that we were talking about. It's like setting tables.
Yeah. He got like 20 Haitians who work for him.
He mows the lawn for billionaires to waste time and money.
And he makes a good living.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Pat, share that with some of your liberal friends in Massachusetts. I was also tripping on I was trying to think of.
He's got to know people he can't even tell. He's got to have friends that he must run into people he'd rather they not know he works for a golf course.
What do you mean?
Well, I know my liberal friend, Tom. Mm-hmm. You say golf and he winces. He'll regale you with go on and on explaining what a waste of resource it is,
without thinking about the bigger implications of how it helps people.
Whatever, he's got his vision for how we should live.
Yeah. I was along those lines. I was thinking about Mondani and the government-run supermarkets in New York that he wants to do, one in each borough to help. Openly says to keep prices down so that the private ones have to compete with them. The subsidized groceries. I was thinking, is there any government institution that I've ever been in where I'm like, wow, this is a fine-run machine? Like, none of them. No courthouse, no DMV. Not when we went to go get Social Security numbers for the kids. Not the post office. No one nice. No one polite. No service being offered well. How's he think? And then I was listening to a story on it, and they were saying, "Hey, the government won't even run it. He'll end up contracting it out to one of his buddies, and it ends up just becoming another government scam." The operation of the supermarkets,
Of course.
and then you're at communism.
Yeah, someone's getting a contract here.
I think I think I've told you the story before when my dad went to the first time my dad went to Armenia, a lot of his relatives were in they drove garbage trucks and collected garbage. And if the garbage trucks didn't have gas in them, they wouldn't go to work. Like if the guys because there was no motivation, you know what I mean? They wouldn't put the gas in them because that was someone else's government job. Where if it's a private business, you know what I mean? Like if the power was out at your gym, you didn't shut your gym down, right? You went outside and everyone did the workout outside, right? The toilet clogged up, you went and unclogged it. You didn't wait till someone from the government fixed it. I listened to a 1 hour topic about how bad this bill is for this big beautiful bill is for Medicaid and Medicare and people who are getting health insurance through there. And the primary argument in this 1 hour video is that you now have to prove to the government if you want to be on, I can't remember if it's Medicaid or Medicare, that you work 80 hours a month, and you have to register twice a year now, just to prove that you work at least 80 hours a month to get that.
What is that? What people over 65 get? Is that the deal?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. But I was like, hey, that doesn't sound like a very high barrier of entry to get free healthcare from the government to prove that you work, send in some sort of paperwork every 6 months that shows that you work at least 80 hours a month. I mean, the government requires that for all sorts of other shit too. Like all sorts of other shit.
So if you're too sick to work, you can't get Medicare?
I guess if I get what you mean, like if you were sick like for 3 months, then you'd lose it because you couldn't prove that you were working for 80 hours that month. Maybe that sounds like a logical argument.
But so I'm missing something. There's more to it.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think I know what Medicare is.
Yeah, I don't know what they are either. Medicare is for the elderly. Medicaid is for the others. Oh. So maybe it was Medicaid.
For the Medicare benefit, or maybe it's Medicaid. You have to prove you were working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Kat's saying not for Medicare. So just for Medicaid.
Right.
It reminds me of when Obamacare
You know why I have no idea?
Because you don't use it.
Yeah, because I don't go to doctors.
But yeah, that too. When Obamacare was coming around, I just remember you seeing all the red flags and being like, hey, it's more important than ever to stay healthy and completely stay out of the system. What you had some line about recycled body parts or something that was funny. I can't remember how it went. You remember it?
Mm-mm.
I'm late. Did we discuss the firefighter ambush in Greg's town? Hey, was that close to your house?
Everything's kind of close. So no, in some sense, but yeah, I mean, I know where that is.
Yeah. That's a crazy that I didn't follow that story closely beyond the fact that the guy called in purposely set a fire. They show up and he killed firefighters. Did you follow the story at all? Did they ever give a reason? Do they have a motive? Do they have a motive?
No, but I don't usually pay attention to that part.
Does Greg get
Kohlberger took a plea. The guy that butchered the college kids in Moscow.
Oh, he did. And what was his plea?
Life, no parole in exchange for no death penalty.
Wow.
And the family's pretty upset, at least one of the kids, the Gonsalves.
Because they want to see it go to trial and him get the death penalty.
Indeed.
This is the guy that snuck into the condo in the middle of the night and killed 3 or 4 of the kids?
In the apartment, yeah.
Damn. Oh, He was rejected from being a firefighter. Wow. Well, he opened up 2 new positions. Wow. Damn.
I'd like to know more about that. It doesn't, but that's the nature of the motive for horrific acts. You know, it's not going to make sense.
Your boyfriend breaks up with you, so you kill him.
It's not a good enough reason.
No. No. I do not endorse that position. The Diddy case is getting interesting too. I guess there's 5 charges against him. I tried to watch the whole 40-minute
Found
TMZ.
guilty on 2, and I guess not guilty on the others.
Do they know that for sure though? Or is that just speculation? What I heard is that there's 4 or 5 charges, and there's one of the charges that one of the jurors is the racketeering charge that one of the jurors is like,
They're about to read the verdict right now, and it's been leaked that he was found guilty on 2 counts. And I'm gonna
of the
guess that's prostitution and crossing state lines for prostitution. I could see him getting time served on that shit.
so he might be out today.
I don't know. Oh, guilty of sex trafficking.
Oh, you can see it?
Yeah.
And what's sex trafficking? Like if you want to sleep with a girl and you buy her a plane ticket and she flies to your state and you have sex with her, that's sex trafficking?
Yeah.
Damn. That's crazy. How could he not be guilty? But guilty of what though? What did he do? Jeff, if you're rich as fuck and you're into drugs and girls,
If you pay the chick across the street for a blowjob and she lives across the state line, I think you're committing felonies.
as opposed to like if you,
She lived next door to you.
then what? Then it's just a misdemeanor.
You got or nothing. I don't know. But it's a magical act if there's a state line involved.
The prostitution thing is kind of weird, right? It's like what my body, my choice. So you can abort your baby, but you can't sell your pussy or your dick. Or I wonder when it becomes prostitution if you let someone.
I told Maggie I don't see the crime, and then it turns into you think he's a good guy, and I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about.
Right.
Our friend Jim from that background doesn't see a crime either.
Oh,
and you know him and his standards and virtues, he would be about as far from that kind of guy as you can imagine.
Hey,
I mean, they're talking about, hundreds of years of jail for what again?
Right.
It's a weird thing, like I'm not going to defend him beating her in the hallway at the hotel. Okay.
Right.
I've never done anything like that. I've never even seen anything like that. But I saw much worse things done to people, and it was called peaceful protest by all the major media outlets.
And hey, you can go on Twitter at any time you want and watch people fighting and beating each other up. And I mean, just like this morning, I watched on Twitter 10 girls fighting in front of a club, like crazy fighting. It's kind of trippy how people jump to those conclusions too. If you say something like, "Hey, you went to a bar, you wore a mini skirt, you weren't wearing underwear, and you while you were sitting at the bar, you got so drunk that your nipple was out for 2 of the 4 hours you were there, and then some guy raped you," and you're like, "Hey man, that's a bad idea to go get in that situation. Get so drunk, go to a bar in a mini skirt with no underwear and have a nip slip, wear an outfit." And someone will be like, "Hey, are you justifying the rape?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not justifying the rape at all. It's the same thing where it's like, hey, you shouldn't drive 120 miles an hour in a 25. I'm just saying, like, there's
you don't want to make a cash deposit to the ATM of $20,000 in $20 bills through the machine.
right.
Yeah, I get it.
Right. It's just like, hey, I'm talking about the advice I would give to my daughter. I'm not talking about like, if I'm a predator, which we know are out there, um, then uh, then you have to take precautions. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, Greg. I don't know if this is true, but I'm going to say it like it's true. And if you don't think it's true, feel free to put.
Transportation to engage in prostitution.
That's what he got.
Yeah.
Transportation to engage in
If you rent a
prostitution.
person in a Waymo, it's a big crime. If you let her ride your bike or take your no, I'd probably be providing transportation.
Why aren't they charging him for like the media portrayed it like he raped Justin Bieber? Why aren't they charging him for that? Because there's just no proof of that. That's just was just all. You know what I mean? The proof is that the media portrayed it like there were 20 young male artists and he took them downstairs and gave them drugs and ass slammed them. Right? Isn't that that's how they were that's what they were trying to paint. That Bieber's parents gave him to Diddy when he was 14 and Usher and you know all those guys and that I, um I was thinking about this the other day. You know, Lazar Jukic died at the games last year, and the games, let's say, has been around 19 years, and there was a death. I don't know if this is true, but I suspect every year at the Olympics, someone gets raped, like an athlete in Athlete Village. I'm guessing. I wonder what Google would say about that. And I was thinking, imagine running an event where every year you tell the female athletes, "Hey, by the way, be really careful. Since 1972, someone's always been raped in Athlete Village." If you had to bet money, do you think that happens at the Olympics every year?
I have no idea. I would think not.
Really? You have 20,000 young athletes with 10,000 just crazy, virile men show up on a scene? Oh, here's one right here. Uh,
You know what,
uh,
Sebi, I've not rape is an odd thing. I mean, I don't understand. I've never known a rapist.
yeah, that's true. Well,
No, that's
you've
not
never known that you've known a rapist. Maybe you have.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Cameron Earl.
I wonder what kind of crimes happen in Olympic Village. Crimes Olympic. It says cries. I put cries.
But
Crimes in
the
Oh, that theft is a huge problem in Olympic Village, I guess. Hmm. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not like that. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, not in 2016, there were 2 alleged sexual assaults in the Olympic Village in Rio. That makes sense. Brazil. Oh,
okay.
shit. That makes perfect sense. I went to Berkeley, a couple days ago,
I remember.
and, I was walking through my old neighborhood, and I ran into a guy that I hadn't seen in a long time, and he told me, he's like, "Oh," he goes, "I listened to your podcast," and then I go, "Oh, that's cool," and I was really surprised. He goes, "Well, just the one Greg's on." I was like, "Oh, thanks."
Is he a CrossFitter?
No, he's not a CrossFitter, not at all. He's an artist. You know, this guy, when I met him, for the first 2 years I met him, he really didn't talk. Like, I would see him in circles, and he like, I probably heard him say less than 100 words, and then he got into Wim Hof breathing exercises,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it completely changed him. Now he's, like, gregarious and outgoing, and he does theater, and it's a trip. He told me he likes these shows because we talk about stuff besides, CrossFit. Judy Yudkin, um, off topic, but thanks to, you both, I lost 50 pounds in 5 months at 55 after cutting out sugar and doing CrossFit Mayhem online programming. Oh, that's awesome.
What's the Mayhem online program look like?
I th
iPhone app?
I don't know I don't know how I don't know how they give it to you. I don't know if it's a website or an app or not, but it's like I think that they have, like, 5 different what they call tracks. The ones for, you know, people who wanna be super elite, one's for, like, people who only have 30 minutes a day, one's for, like, if you're running classes, you know what I mean? For, like,
That's what
different
Westerland and I did.
pardon me?
Like the one Westerland and I did, where we laid out work capacity on a curve, assumed the distribution to be reasonably Gaussian, and then created some names for the different standard deviations off the median. Remember that? It
What year
started
would
with gold, platinum.
Oh, yes. 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 And there was some metal in there that I didn't even know.
Californium, I think, was the highest level.
Yeah. Was that real or did you make that up?
No, it's at fucking 26 million a gram, I think.
Yeah. I think it was, I think and a lot of people have that model, like, just basically, they sell programming based on, uh, the what people wanna get out of it, and then, also, time commitment or equipment restrictions, shit like that. I think that's, like, the norm.
Think of the challenges in the one size fits all offering that we were putting out.
Didn't we
There's
have
there's a there's a significant talent in coming up with a workout that the fewest number of people will need to scale, and it won't need to be scaled the other way for the world's fittest. No one's like, oh, I need 165 pounds for Fran. You do it and do it, go sub two and tell me that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the complaint, like, I thought the Open this year was amazing, and because of the workouts, and but some people still, like, complain. They, like you're like, "Oh, it wasn't heavy enough." And I thought it was perfect. I thought it fit the requirements that you were saying. It scooped up the largest number of people and that everyone could show their fitness, and the people who were super strong and fit could show it through intensity. Yeah, I think that's what yeah, I agree.
It's interesting, fascinating, even how few surprises there are at the games.
In terms of the outcome or in terms of the movements?
Yeah, in terms of the outcome. Yeah, I mean, the surprises take the form of injury,
Right.
but the outcome seems largely preordained, does it not?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's important. It would have been bothersome to me were that not the case.
Yeah.
It would
I was
lead me to believe that we weren't really measuring something that we thought we were.
I was thinking yesterday, every year something that I can remember, something like sort of there's always drama at the games, right? Like always something happens. Like, in 2008, OPT was crying, he got injured, and 2007, Dave and Rip got in a fight, and you know, uh, 2009, on the run, someone missed the opening as they came into the stadium and ran under the bleachers and fucking. Um,
Really?
Yeah, do you remember those faux I think it was Valerie Vobril. Remember those faux bleachers? No, it wasn't her, it was some Asian girl, which is kinda weird because the stereotype is Asians can't drive, but do you remember we had those bleachers, those temporary bleachers set up, and there was an opening, and as you came to the finals and the run, you came down the hill and through the bleachers, and she missed the opening and just ran under the bleachers and fucking almost decapitated herself. I was just thinking, I wonder what it's gonna be this year. A couple of years ago, one of the guys, Roman Krennikov, like, broke his ankle jumping over something. They're, like, in the back debating whether to take his shoe off because that would cause swelling and he wouldn't be able to continue. What do you think about that when something happens? Recently we had, we know of a friend who had a tragic accident in motocross, and I was asking my nephew about it, and he says, I go, "What do they do?" He said, "They just go on. They just They just go on. I said, "At the same event?" He said, "Yeah." And I was tripping on that. I was like, "Wow, that's intense." So there's, 500 families there with 500 kids, and one kid dies in a race. They all take a break for a day and come back the next day, and all the kids get back on their motorcycles. That's hardcore, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
did
we
we
used to go visit people with cervical spine fractures and leave a gymnastics bag in the hallway and then pick it up and go. And I don't think it ever occurred to me you could break your neck in gymnastics.
even though you witnessed it?
Well, I got put on a team because someone broke their neck.
Oh my goodness. I got this.
It was like, you know how I describe it? Because I've tripped on it for years. If your friend was struck by lightning, you'd still go outside.
Yes.
And it was like that.
Mm. It won't happen to me.
My kids signed up for junior guards, and I think you heard this. You were around, but we'll tell everyone. And there was openings at at what is it, La Selva, the beach right under my house here,
Okay, yeah.
and they're all full up at Capitola and Santa Cruz.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, but not at La Selva. And then we heard from Michelle. She goes, "Oh yeah, I'm not. I won't let my kids surf there because of the sharks." She goes, "You can just stand there in the sand and see them out past the kelp. They're right out there in the break, almost every day." So I was like, "Well, is it cheaper to go there? Maybe we'll just go and watch."
Did you see um last year there were more sharks off the coast of I don't know, I think you saw the footage. Last year there were more coast off the shark and off the coast in Santa Cruz, more sharks off the coast in Santa Cruz than in like any recorded history of anyone seen. And there was video footage just all over the place of just schools of sharks. And I guess there was this warm body of water that had been moving up from Mexico just along the coast, and the sharks were staying in it. But they said, Greg, that they were baby sharks, and so most of them were under 12 feet long, so it wasn't a threat to your surfers. But there's just dudes flying drones over the coast here in front of mine in your house, and yeah, the water's just full of sharks.
We
7 foot.
went swimming in the Seychelles with black tipped sharks,
Uh huh.
and there was a big preamble to getting in the water of "Don't touch them." And of course, my kid, what happens if you touch them? He goes, "They'll attack you."
Wow.
And I understand there's some game fish that will do that too, like mahi mahi or something. You spear one, and the others will come after you.
Wow.
I wonder to what extent that's true. But anyways, then we heard recently of someone that got chewed up pretty good by black sharks, black tip sharks. And I'm like, you must have touched one, but they're coming right by you. I mean, as close as
How big are they?
5, 6 feet long, a mouthful of teeth.
Oh yeah, that's
You wouldn't want them chewing on you.
yeah. Here just last year, loads of great white sightings in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, is that all just drones? Everyone's got a drones, and now there's sharks everywhere.
Yeah. I saw some footage the other day that was nuts. I had no idea it was like this. It was a guy throwing pieces of meat off an oil derrick out in the Pacific,
Yeah.
and soon as the meat hits the water, the sharks just appear up out of nowhere and just start attacking it. I guess that those areas around there are just teeming with life.
So they're saying here the summary is that Sean Combs was acquitted of most serious charges.
Oh, you're making me jealous that I've seen it. What do I type in P Diddy?
I think every all mainstream media is on this hard.
Diddy trial live. Rapper found guilty of transportation for prostitution, but cleared of other charges. What's the sentence for
That seems reasonable to me.
Oh, people are gonna be pissed. Says a maximum sentence of 10 years. Oh, if the person's under 18. Oh, if they're not under 18. Why does it give me that? Transportation of a person, prostitution, specifically under 18, maximum sentence of 10 years. Penalties can be even more severe, potentially including minimum of 10 years. 21 months. How long has he been in jail? He's only been there a few months?
No, it's been a long time, it seems like.
Sugar's more dangerous than sharks and gators. Definitely takes more lives.
Yeah, I don't know how you compare the dose. I'd rather have a donut in my mouth than a shark on my leg.
Yes. One of them would be an enjoyable way to die. Hey, so someone signed my name up for some national insurance like hotline. So what my phone does is it rings, and then when I answer it, the work phone here, it calls a operator house, a warehouse full of operators, and then we both pick up at the same time, and they go, "Hi, did you call us asking for insurance?" I'm like, "No, you called me," and they're like, "No, sir, you called us." And this has been going on now for 4 days. Phones just rings off the hook. People trying to sell me insurance. Made for some good bits. I'll tell you. Oh, call center. Yeah, call center. Why didn't they let cameras in there? Do you remember during the OJ case there was cameras in there and you got to see it all? Why didn't they do that for the Diddy one?
I don't know.
Because it's federal. Is it has something to do with federal cases? You can't have a camera in there. I don't even know what racketeering is. The story is that there was a 52-year-old white guy in there who was like a microbiologist. Did you hear that on the jury? And he was like disagreeing with the jury on everything. He's like, "Nope, not guilty. Nope, not guilty. Nope." And after 2 hours of deliberations, this was the speculation from TMZ. And after 2 hours of deliberations, they sent a note to the judge, and the rest of the jurors said, "Can you take this guy off the jury? We can't get anything done with him." That was after 2 hours. They tattled on him.
Get rid of them. It's supposed to work where one guy can throw a wrench in it.
Yeah, right? Especially the smart guy. And now what happens? Now we go to all the civil cases. Now it'll be all the people who are trying to get money from him. Didn't OJ was found not guilty, but
I think you could show video of any dude kicking any chick's ass and then find 12 people to convict him of anything.
right.
Maggie was going on about it. I go, should he have been charged with treason as well? Because of what he did to her? Are you okay with that?
You know, the story behind that video is he paid $100,000 for the video afterwards. So he thought that it didn't exist. So I guess someone at the hotel said, "Hey, we got this video you beating your girlfriend." And he paid $100K for it, but then didn't get it.
He was supposed to pay installments, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, that's what my TV told me. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not betting $5 on the story. Oh, yeah. The New York Times is riding this hard. They're updating their site every 4 minutes. The court is adjourning for a few hours while the judge considers the arguments from Mr. Combs' lawyers and prosecutors about whether he should be released. Sean Combs' supporters and family are now clapping and whistling for his legal team. We are all embracing each other. Mr. Combs' lawyers are absolutely ecstatic. This was the best outcome for him outside of a total acquittal. Sean Combs is on his knees, his elbows on the chair where he was sitting his head buried. He appeared to be praying. He started a round of applause, which was echoed by his family, who were jubilant. Mr. Combs has been given his life by this jury, said Marco Agnafilio, Sean Combs' lead lawyer. He will not run afoul of anything this court imposes on him.
What
With
is
a
that?
he says the lawyer says Sean Combs will not run afoul of anything this court opposes on him. Meaning, I think if like they give him like community service, he'll do it. He's saying like Combs will be take his punishment. With a touch of levity, the judge said he assumed that Sean Combs would not want to return to the Brooklyn jail where he's been held. Mr. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer.
I hope he goes home.
Mr. Combs appears energetic and relieved, now acquitted of the most serious charges. The prosecution said that Sean Combs faces up to 20 years in prison. Each of a Mann Act count carries up to 10 years each, but it'll be up to the judge to decide how long he serves. I'm reading them backwards in time.
I think Jim said there was no Mann Act in this.
I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to ask you what that is in a second. The lead prosecutor, Maureen Comey, said the defense is underplaying the seriousness of the conviction and is urging the judge to keep him detained. Oh, what's the Mann Act?
I don't know. Look it up.
Mann Act, also known as the White Slavery Traffic Act, is United States federal law enacted in 1910. It prohibits the transportation of individuals across state lines or international borders for immoral purposes, primarily aimed at combating sex trafficking. Hey, so if you like you said, if you pay your neighbor to have sex with you and she lives across the street or he lives across the street, if you go and fuck them at their house, that's okay. But if they come to your house, it's not okay. But
Yeah,
they're both
there's all kinds of things where there's conversations that can be had that become major crimes if they're had over the telephone.
because if the phone call went over the state line too.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. This law needs to be fixed. This is crazy. It's so vague. It says
The judge says he presumed in a moment of levity that you don't want to go back to the jail. He must be intending to release him.
right. That's what yeah.
Because you don't make that joke but you're gonna go back. You know?
The African-American boxer was prosecuted. Jack Johnson, the African-American boxer, that's a black dude. Jack Johnson, the black boxer, was prosecuted under the Mann Act for his relationships with white women, highlighting the law's potential for misuse. Charlie Chaplin, the actor and director, was prosecuted in connection with a paternity suit. Chuck Berry, the musician, was charged with transportation of an underage girl across state lines. Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect, was accused of violating the act by traveling with his girlfriend while still married. Yeah, they can just say that's immoral that you had a girlfriend while you're married. And that Frank Lloyd Wright, holy shit. Dude, this is all guys. Women don't get busted for this one. This is a misandry law. Mann Act has been criticized for its broad language, potential for misuse, and its role in perpetrating racist and sexist stereotypes.
It looks like keeping the black man down to me.
Yeah. Oh, it totally is. Wow. I don't know. I can't believe that there's a law on the books that talks about morality. How the fuck do you define that? That's crazy. To summarize the whirlwind moment in court, Sean Combs was acquitted of the most serious counts against him, including the sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura and another former girlfriend. Yeah, how do you sex traffic your girlfriend? The jury was not convinced that those women were coerced into the sex marathons with male escorts at the heart of the case. Nor were they convinced that he ran a racketeering enterprise responsible for conspiring to commit crimes. Oh, that's good. While it isn't a full acquittal and Mr. Combs could face years in prison, he was clearly elated by the verdict. The next best thing to a full acquittal for him. I don't understand how you could do sex trafficking if it's your girlfriend.
The transportation to engage in prostitution was the male escorts that were flown out.
Oh, to have sex with them.
Mm-hmm.
Sevi is embarrassed of us when Greg is on, hence the reason he doesn't read comments. It's that obvious, huh? All right. I'll try to be cool. I'll try to act cool then.
Embarrassed of us.
Was Ghislaine Maxwell charged? What was Ghislaine Maxwell charged with, but no one else is charged? The jury was made up mostly of old white men. Think about that. How about you think about it?
Hey, David.
I wonder
He's
what
a sharp guy. Do you know David?
David Weed?
Yeah.
No, I just know that he's a pain in my ass.
Does he give you a hard time?
Yeah, yeah, but in a good way. He's an important character in the multifaceted universe that is the chat, you know?
Yeah.
I think he lives in Portugal or something. I think he's in Europe or something. And I think he's a pretty hardcore CrossFitter, and I think he likes girls a lot. That's that's how I have him, like, you know what I mean? Like, I make up these little characters for,
I think he's a Mark Bell friend.
Oh, I could see that.
And
I
he's an inventor of something. I forget what.
Oh, David Weed is?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I think my impression is he likes girls, he's not afraid of steroids. He's been set free, like, in the sense that, like, he's in Europe and he just says whatever the fuck he wants. I always assumed that wasn't even his name. Oh, David invented a sex position. Oh.
I might be thinking of someone else.
David invented being gay. He's really one of Sevon's sons in the chat. It could be. It's like one of my sons is like him. I can do no right. Hey, are you coming out to the games this year?
I don't think so.
No.
Your recap of this morning kind of talked me out of it too.
Oh, just how every year there's drama at the games. It's true. Every year there is something. Last year someone died. Year before someone broke their ankle. And there's like multiple. You know what I mean? There's always something. I mean, fuck, dude. It's supposed to be hard.
You know, I went a couple years back. Was that last year? Yeah, year before.
Yeah, year before Madison. Yeah.
And boy, I wish I knew why they left Madison.
That was dumb, right?
A big mistake. But anyways, unless they're going broke. But you know, I was like, I don't really want to go. And I got talked into it. And I went, and it was nice. And everyone was really kind. But then in the background, there was some of the very people who were showing me around were people were asking my friend, why'd you bring him here? You know, like, it was funny.
Oh, like you could hear some haters.
Some of the graciousness I was shown by HQ staff was was not really genuine.
Right.
They,
Um,
they they all had a Greg problem. Same thing at the French Open throwdown.
uh,
And
this
I don't enjoy it enough to you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I do. Um, that's, Jake Chapman, we had the cheeky little photographer in the toilets. Yeah, the last year at Madison, a guy was arrested for taking, a dude was arrested for taking pictures of other dudes' dicks in the, bathroom. That was a great story.
When was that?
That was the last year in Madison. I'm looking for the article. Fit Madison bathroom. Uh, maybe I'll type in penis too. It looks like there aren't any great matches for this. CrossFit Madison. I'll type in just
He just
bathroom.
should have invented the urinal cam.
Yeah. Man accused of filming people in bathrooms at CrossFit Games 2023. Madison. Yeah, that story got some legs. That's what I mean. Every year. This is not what I thought the guy would look like, by the way. I like to really stereotype people. This guy really threw me for a loop.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't. I feel like that's a white guy crime. Tennessee man accused of filming people in bathrooms during the 2023. This guy can't live in Tennessee either. Yeah, you're not working for me.
Said what did he
Ju
drive from Tennessee to Madison to film people in the bathroom and got arrested?
He thought it was cockfit, not CrossFit. A judge did not convict Tran, instead referring him to the county's deferred prosecution program. Of course, no one's convicted of any crimes in Madison. Hey, if he would have been doing that in the women's bathroom, he probably would have got a fucking award from the mayor. Yeah, someone needs to do a video. Oh yeah, then there was a year that Brooke Wells did a snatch and snapped her arm backwards. I forgot about that. Like every year, there's something cool that happened. I mean, what do you expect, right? You have 80 of the fittest people on the planet show up to do a really hard test. Hey, how crazy is it too? You know, some people will say, "Hey, this is." Oh, let me see. Greg, if you go to the CrossFit game, tickets will sell for the Dave Castro. Oh, yeah, they're having trouble with ticket sales. You could help Dave out. You could just say you're going.
When is it?
Oh, we got him back on the hook. August 1st through the 3rd or something. You could just come for one day, stay in the hotel, and leave.
Let's talk about that at Cilantro's. I think I could be talked into it.
Hey, I think the company is going to sell before then. I really do. I think I mean, I know I say that every fucking week, but man, the rumblings are getting crazy. You know what? You know why the rumblings are getting crazy? People are getting really tight-lipped about it. No, and that's what makes me think, like, the people that normally I would ask questions about the sale, they're not talking about it anymore. I can't talk. I can't. And that makes me think like it's getting close. Oh, Greg, that would be Greg's coming to the Isle of Man instead. Hey, do you have any interest in seeing that? That TT? That rate, you know, the famous race they have there?
Yeah, I do. You know what? It might be fun to go with like Dave Chinchulli or something.
What, he's into motorcycles?
Oh my God, is he?
You know, that's an event, you know, I think last year was the first year someone didn't die at that event in, like, its 70-year history. The first time. I think that they've had more fans that there die than athletes for motorcycles coming off the track. I think it's something crazy like that. The videos on YouTube are fascinating. You know what it is, right? They close the island down and they let the dudes just show
Yep.
up,
Yep.
and now they got electric bikes out there doing shit that's, like, unheard of.
And they have to have a noisemaker on them, right?
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that, but that would make sense. No, this is not I don't think Red Bull's involved with this at all. This shit's, like, even too crazy for Red Bull. The shit is nuts. I think they have like families there where it's like 2 of the brothers died and 1 brother's still racing. They got shit like that.
What were you doing today? Will you go to the bike shop with me?
Yeah. I'm chilling. I think, Ari starts drum lessons today.
Drum lessons?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, we've had a set of drums here at the house for about a year, and, he plays them, and he seems to you know what I mean? He just figured it out when the other kids play the piano. I mean, he plays the piano too. So if we were at what's crazy, I really liked how it unfolded. Avi was at his piano lesson, and he turns to the piano and we were sitting outside, right? When the piano teacher came out to say, "Okay, Avi's done," um, uh, he looked at the piano teacher and he said, "Hey, can you teach me the drums?" And I just loved that, you know what I mean? I was like, "Done."
Have you seen the Drumeo videos?
Yeah,
On
you've showed
YouTube?
me that.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're great.
Yeah, crazy. That's the one where someone they play music for people that they've never heard before, and then the drummer has to make up
Outside
what
of
they
their genre,
say it again?
they take drummers from a and play music outside of their genre and play it with the drum track stripped and then ask them to create it.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And then
I'm most surprised also by the fact that some of these songs people haven't heard before. Like, wow, you're a great drummer and you never heard that song before by Nirvana? Like, what? Uh, the dumbest thing I've heard you say is, "How do you sex traffic your girlfriend?" With how needy some people can probably sex traffic fruit and vegetable. God, you're dumb. Fuck, I don't even know if I should try to explain it to that person.
the sex trafficking was the male escorts that were being flown in.
Yeah. Well, this person is not even saying what part of it they think is dumb.
Yeah, I don't get it either. I don't understand what they're saying.
Sex trafficking is human trafficking for the purpose of sexual exploitation. The point is how are you if it's your fucking girlfriend, dude, it would be like my wife saying I stole from her fucking purse. She's my fucking wife. Or if I said to my wife, I thought my wife stole from my wallet. It's like my wife can't steal from my wallet. It's like she can do whatever the fuck it's like it's our money. It's like what? Like what? I don't get like if in the middle of the night if in the middle of the night my wife sits on my face, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I got call the cops in the morning and say I was raped. It's like that's what my face is for. It's my fucking wife. I don't know. I don't understand. Like I just have to like suck it up. You know what I mean?
Does she do that to you? Sits on your face while you're
I don't
sleeping?
want to. I don't want to. I don't want to get personal.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for defending me. Of all the dumb things he says, that's only a 2. Thank you. But Daniel likes to beat me up a little bit too. So when he comes to my defense, I know I'm. Jan Clark, I want to die that way. No, it's not. I understand how a husband can beat his wife. I understand how a wife can beat their husband. God, have you seen the numbers on that? By the way, in black families, it's actually the women have a higher rate of beating their husbands. I think I saw a stat on that. And in whites, it's the husbands beating the wives. That would suck to get beat up.
It's hard to beat him when he's not there.
That would suck to get beat up by Haley. I don't know what I would do. I'd just run. We're gonna go to Cilantro's, and you're probably gonna be like, "Okay, I'll go to the games," and then I'll call you in the morning. You'll be like, "Nah, I'm not going to games." Jesus, Greg. No, just Greg. Just Greg.
I don't understand that.
Hey, so Elon and Trump are fighting again?
Are they really?
Yeah, I guess I guess Elon's really pissed about the big beautiful bill, and he basically said that
Oh, yeah, he's gonna start a new political party.
yeah,
Good.
and he I guess it's like the biggest they raised the debt ceiling by 3 trillion or 5 trillion, and
It's a problem.
the bill or the debt
Yeah,
ceiling.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I just listen to Rand Paul go on and on. And it's just like that makes perfect sense to me. I understand what he's saying.
And they supposedly have cut $1 trillion, $995 billion out of Medicare and Medicaid, which supposedly they said they weren't going to do. That's like one of the talking points the Dems are using now. $5 trillion, and the deficit is going up again. Everything you voted for, Sevi. My gold chain went up 3 times in value. I don't wear it anymore. Is gold skyrocketing? Should have called this the P. Diddy update show. You ever see Sky News, by the way, over in
I have.
Australia? Yeah, like you see clips and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, they're so on the Trump tip. I wonder if that's a popular channel in Australia. It seems like it's a little low rent. Did you feel anything shake?
No, why?
Oh, I thought maybe I felt like a little bit of an earthquake. You know, I was in here one time and there was a big ass earthquake while I was doing the show.
You know, the Loma Prieta fault goes through my little piece of land here.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
It was disclosed on purchase.
Was that house there during the big earthquake?
No. But you know, the damage to the quake epicenter right behind me was greater in Oakland than it was here.
The damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
mean, your
Santa Cruz
freeway dropping, and it was a big deal up there. Not so much here.
Oh, really? I didn't know Santa Cruz back then, but I just remember watching the news as a kid when it happened, and they said Santa Cruz was, like, destroyed. No, it wasn't too
Yeah,
bad?
it was the Cooper building was permanently destroyed. It was damaged, couldn't be inhabited, and some girl was killed. I think there was one fatality.
Hey, Pat, everything that you've said 2 days later ends up being wrong. Listen, you were probably against bombing Iran, you're against closing the borders, you were perfectly okay with Leah Thomas, swimming at Penn State. I mean, come on, dude. Just give it a couple of days. Let's see what happens. Give it a couple of days. But you were all concerned about the stock market. Remember when you were like, "Oh my god, you destroyed the stock market." Now the stock market's coming. So just chill, buddy. Before the verdict was read,
The
what?
trade war. The trade war was.
Yeah, we were doomed. No, dude, you're always wrong, dude. You haven't been right once. You're 0 and 600. Uh, Before the verdict was read, Sean Combs walked into the courtroom and mouthed, "We got this," to his family. He was reading a printout of Psalm 11 when the first not guilty racketeering count was read. So he was reading the Bible while they read not guilty to racketeering. A family member aghast as the not guilty verdicts for the sex trafficking counts came. Members of his family and his legal team began to cry. When the full verdict had been read, Mr. Combs turned to his family and mouthed, "I'm going home. That will be determined by the judge this afternoon." Hey, could he go home and then they bring him back and sentence him and he goes back to jail?
Perhaps I would think you'd give him. I think he wouldn't be a flight risk at this point. Hey, does he just go back to doing the record thing, and can he still have those parties?
Yes, he's gonna for sure. He releases.
You'll have to state that you weren't being coerced and make sure everyone comes from the right state.
Yeah, he for sure. He for sure will make music and it'll be bigger than ever. Don't you think?
You think there's girls that are willing to get fucked by male escorts in front of him?
Dude. Well, I saw some.
Imagine the applicants for that. They gotta be. You probably take 10,000 applications.
There are I can't remember where I saw it, but there was a guy who was a convicted killer and he was in jail and he said he received over like 1,000 proposals for women to marry him he had never met. And it's like, holy shit, they're like, and to think there's some dudes out there that can't get pussy, and yet you're in jail as a convicted murderer and chicks want to bang you. Oh, how about that Mangione dude? The United Healthcare dude.
Yeah.
He shot a dude point blank in the back of the head. I can't think of anything less attractive than that. I'd rather fuck a goat than be with him if I was a chick. I'd rather get railed by a horse in Tijuana. And yet there's chicks who want to bang him. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. So yeah, do I think that there's chicks who I think we would be painfully hurt when we found out that 32% of the female population in the world would sleep with him tomorrow. You know what I mean? I think it would be he's going to look tore up when he comes out of the jail too. You know what I mean? He's going to look like 30 years older.
It's amazing what he's been through.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I wonder if Sam Bankman's pissed. Diddy's leaving.
Buddies in jail?
Yeah, they're buddies. Like they play cards and shit together. I saw Sam Bankman get interviewed and he's in the same little pod.
I think I read something about that too.
That Diddy's in. He said Diddy's really nice and yeah, it's fucked up. Let me see if this is a real phone call. Hello? Is this a real person? Okay, hold on. My phone's rang like 500 times and I just keep looking at it thinking it's not a real person. How are things? Life good? Life good?
Yes. Oh, I thought I was waiting for you. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Jethro, hi.
I was curious if Greg needs health insurance. I could have someone call him up and offer it to him. What makes getting fucked by a horse in Tijuana any worse than anywhere?
Good point. You're right. That was very racist of me. That's the only place I know where people get.
Tijuana part adds something to the story.
Hey, I heard the horses in Iceland are small, so maybe that's what it is.
I see. I'm curious as to your opinions on who would be worse for their state. Kamala Harris in California or Zoran Mondani in New York. I don't know if Greg's been following Mondani.
Mondami's the worst.
The worst. You think he's the worst that you could possibly have in any state, correct, Coach Greg?
Yes.
Yes, I agree.
I've never heard of a worse politician in this country, to be honest. I can't think of one. He's scary. He's scary, dude.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to sit back and watch the social experiment. I'm far enough away from the New York Queens border to be okay over here, but I'm telling you, it's going to be a wild ride.
Jethro, I want to bounce something off here. My take on P. Diddy comes from the fact of from the realities of what kind of time you do for physically destroying someone's life, either through murder or great bodily harm. And then for what he's done, they're talking about potentially 100 years. It just seems nuts to me. I don't, and I can't defend any of his behavior, but it doesn't rise to murder. And yet the penalties
Correct.
he was facing seemed much worse than they would be for he'd been better off killing people.
I guess they just go by the law and the penalties that are incurred. I mean,
Yeah.
laws do change. You do get less time, more time as it goes along. They change it on the books, but yeah, I mean,
I think
I
everyone
remember.
involved with him wanted exactly what they got in their involvement with him.
It's kind of like when Michael Jackson started being a pedophile to those kids. I watched that special, and all of a sudden the parents were letting Michael Jackson sleep with their kids. I think it was just to the point where, like, how the fuck did we get here? And how did we get out?
Amazing.
You mean you never thought that the rapper who pays you $3 million a year and lets all his friends fucks you is one day might beat you up in a hotel? That was too far of a stretch. Hey, dude, think about where we're at. In Times Square in the last 2 years, we watched 4 illegal fucking aliens fucking jump cops and stomp them to the ground, and then they were released a day later. And yet Diddy gets in a fight with his girlfriend in a hotel room and beats the shit out of her, and people want to execute him. I mean, it's nuts. And please, no one in the chat say, why are you defending Diddy? We're not. No one is defending him.
Yeah, we got to the point where you kind of have to question everything, regardless of the conditions of the crime. Did it really happen? And the way we convict people, like even in the 2020 when the pandemic was happening, and Andrew Cuomo had all these accusations of all these women of being like molested or like inappropriately touched. You saw that Project Veritas thing that you posted. The guy said it was all bullshit. Even my wife was like, I don't know if these women like got molested by Cuomo and got, touched and stuff.
Hugged too long, inappropriate hand on the shoulder. Like, oh, jeez.
Hey, what a depressing place to be right now, New York City. Like, your choices are really bad between Cuomo, Adams, and Sharia law. What a fucking... How is there not just one sane person running for mayor of that city?
The only person is Curtis Sliwa. As we know, he was the creator of the Guardian Angels. He is just way too right-leaning for anyone in that city who is any type of left-leaning to vote for. He's the ultra MAGA of New York.
No chance, huh? No chance?
No chance. Nope, none. It's going to be Cuomo, Mondami, Adams, Sliwa. 2 independents, Democrat and Republican.
And what happens? Do Cuomo and Adams basically ruin each other's chances because of because they can't combine their votes? Will one of those dudes have to drop out and concede?
For some reason, they've done the polling. If it's Mondami versus Adams, Mondami wins. If Cuomo runs, Adams starts to lose steam. Cuomo and Mondami right now in a virtual tie. So Cuomo has to go into the race.
I like Adams better than Cuomo.
It's crazy you say that.
Is that not true? Do you think that's bad? I like it because I think Adams is dumb, but I like it that Adams wants to play ball with Trump and wants to play ball. And I think Cuomo is just Gavin Newsom 2.0.
We're watching Adams mature on the vine.
Yeah, well, hopefully that's it. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
They're coming around.
He's better than he
was. What?
He's better than he was, and he's going to get even better.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Good point. Do you believe that Adams really do you think Adams looks back and is like, oh shit, what did I do by letting in all these illegal aliens?
Hey, the feds tried to send him to jail for complaining about the border problem. That's not what they said. It was that was all bullshit.
The reason why he got indicted was because the administration for Turkey, the country Turkey, they needed permits to open up their consulate. And all Adams did was talk to the head of the fire department and said, hey, listen, can you guys get this going? they deemed as though that was inappropriate use of his stature.
And just so they had been granted the permits but not received them. They'd been approved, and they're like, "Hey, we need to get this rolling." So he makes a phone call and gets a flight upgrade, gets bumped into first class.
I know that, but the article says he was bribed.
Yeah,
when it was an airline ticket. I know, it's crazy.
And Adams always flew coach. Always flew coach. The one time he flies first class, it's inappropriate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if like I have what my mayor and my whoever flying, I want them flying first class and be a little bit more protected.
Absolutely. Jethro, do you feel free enough to speak to what his reputation was amongst the men in blue as a cop?
Yes, I am, because I didn't work with him. I did not work in the NYPD, but I know people who did work with him. Adams was someone who was able to take the tests, his promotional exams, and then when it got time to become promoted, instead of being a test taker, so in the department, it's cop, sergeant, lieutenant, and then you start going into the captaincy. Once you start going to the captaincy, that is a promotion. You get chosen. He started getting chosen, and through the ranks, you do have some leeway by being black, Hispanic, female. So he rose up those ranks and got prominent that way.
Okay.
Yes, he did take the tests. Yes, he did pass his sergeants and lieutenants exams. But as soon as you get into the captaincy, that's when you start to make the money, the overtime, you get your special commands. And he was known as someone who used his race as a, as a something that's positive for him.
Yep.
Wasn't there another like high level cop in New York who weighs like 400 pounds he had paid some girl like $250,000 in overtime to fuck the bejesus out of her?
Jeffrey Madry, yes.
Yeah, is that case still pretty big in New York? That guy was pretty senior, right? Was he second in command for the NYPD?
Yeah, he I think he retired. The thing is with retirement, when you get caught up in something like that, you're able to retire before they pull your pension.
What was his name?
Jeffrey Madry, M-A-D-D.
This guy looked like a rhino.
I think he was the chief of patrol, not chief of department. I think he was chief of patrol. But yeah, he got caught up in some crazy shit. You were reading it on the air that one time. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, what the discourse between him and the girl that he had sex with was crazy. She had like $250,000 in overtime. This guy. Yeah, he's huge. And do you think he's guilty, by the way, just off the top of your head? Like, do you think that shit happens? Like
people get overtime as a favor?
No, not that. Of course that happens. But I mean, do you think that like his story, like, do you think that story, she needed extra money and so she was in there blowing him and then he was giving her overtime? Like, that's the accusation.
I could see that. I was not there, but I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For every like, it's a 10-to-1. For every 10 minutes you suck my dick, you get 100 minutes of overtime. There's like some sort of like.
You gotta remember, there's 40,000 cops in the city. It's the biggest police department in the world. So to oversee that, shit gets through the weeds.
And what's going on? I feel like I'm seeing more and more of the cops finally defending themselves. Is that true? Is there becoming?
Well, there's a new commissioner, Commissioner Tisch. She comes from a long line of people who are, working the civil service. They're kind of putting their foot down. Mayor Adams is still the mayor. People forget that. He's still, he was a cop. He's making initiatives to make sure that people are doing the right thing.
I don't
Jethro,
know,
is this Tish? Did she come out of Justice Department?
No, she's just a local person. The families all have worked civil service jobs, been up there. So she was actually the commissioner of sanitation for the whole city of New York. Then she became the commissioner of the police department.
That's the girl I was talking about. Who's her dad?
I don't know.
Wait a second. Did you just tell me that the New York police commissioner was the commissioner of transportation?
Sanitation.
Sanitation? Like those the shit plants where your pee and poop goes and they clean it? Water treatment centers?
Yep. Yep.
What the fuck? What kind of lateral move is that?
That's what they do. Yeah, man. That's what it is.
Jethro, her dad is the CEO of Lowe's.
Oh, big money.
Yeah. And she's a JD MBA from Harvard.
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Like, yeah, okay.
NYPD commissioner talks about the Pride Parade preparations for excluding armed gay officers.
Oh, yeah, they started that back in 2020. You're not allowed to march unless you can wear a uniform. You just can't have your gun with you. But according to the rules and regulations, if you're ever in uniform, you need to have your gun and shield on you. So that's been a big battle for like 4 years now.
Jethro, it's increasingly looking to us like I was watching Adams the other day, and I've come to like him. I didn't like him. I appreciated what he said about the border, speaking out about that. And then the prosecution, the bullshit prosecution, kind of made him one of us, you know. But I was watching him talk the other day, and the people standing behind him, it reminded me of the Star Wars bar scene. It's like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, it looked like a movie set. And
that's the way it is now with all these people who are elected and are representatives. They're hand chosen for those specific reasons. They represent something.
Yeah.
They represent the LGBT. They represent the, the trans. They represent the black, the white, the handicapped. If that's what you want, that's what you get. That's what you vote for.
I like the Goldman Sachs kind of New York better than I do the Village People style New York.
Well, it's been entertaining for us, that's to say the least.
What are your plans when you get out, bud? Did you stay there?
My plan is to do 20 years when I'm eligible to retire, which is in 2 years. I'm going to continue to run my affiliate. And my wife and I are going to, for the following 5 years, rent out a villa in different places in Italy and spend a month in the summers there until we hunker down and find a spot permanently.
Well, if your kids have kids, I bet you that. If your kids have kids, I bet you that changes your plan.
Well, hopefully we have enough money so we could fly them over every summer. I'm not staying here in the winter. That's for fuck sure. It's too expensive here. I pay. If you saw my property of land and how much I pay in taxes, you'd flip.
Hey, I can't suggest a cheaper place, but I'm telling you, California, no matter how much bad shit you hear about California, it is really nice here in Santa Cruz, California. Dude, it is so
when we
nice.
When we went to Los Angeles on the way to Hawaii, Julie goes like this. She goes, I could do Los Angeles or South. I'm not doing Florida, maybe San Diego. And then I was talking to people and they said, I guess maybe Orange County is Republican conservative.
Orange County's cool. I mean, Newport Beach is really cool, but it's really expensive. It's really.
Come visit.
All right. Is that the invite?
Yep.
Santa Cruz is great, man.
Let's do it. I'm in.
And we can give you a Santa Cruz experience where you won't know you're in the People's Republic of Santa Cruz.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife and I, when we go away, we want to wake up, sit by our porch, have coffee, go for a walk the dogs, come back, make some lunch, go to the beach, and then rinse, repeat.
I got a place I can put you into that's cool as hell.
Your place in Aptos?
We could definitely.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Hopefully, with my I'll sell my house. We can make a nice little profit off of it and then head on down there. So my wife said she definitely want to go to Florida. She could go to California.
Greg has this really crazy, cool condo, big condo in this little hamlet that's right by the coolest grocery store, and then it's just you can walk right down to the beach. I mean, you have a coffee shop there, and it's so cool. It's the coolest
in the
spot.
redwoods.
Yeah, in the redwoods, butted up right up against this massive forest in the Pacific Ocean, and then you don't never need to get in your car. It's crazy.
I've done New York for 51 years now. I can do a little change of scenery.
You know,
I've taken the subways, I've taken the buses, I've walked all through Manhattan. Just want to chill out now.
Jethro, my buddy, just retired from LAPD SWAT. He was the lead guy there, good old George. And George is, of course, living in LA, and he's retired. And I'm trying to tell him, okay, now you're free, dude. And I know his values, I know the kind of man he is, and I know what LA was, became, and the continued direction. And I know he feels under siege. And yet it's like people have this thing of like they don't want to wander far from where they're born, no matter what happens to it.
Yeah, I still would be a part of the police department somehow.
And I told him too that I know what it's like. When I left California, I felt it was it was a hard thing to do, but once I left, there was no downside. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yep.
I told him, you come back and the beaches are still there. It's still great, but you hang out for a week and you'll realize why you left. And so California has become like New York, great place to visit.
Hey. Oh, I'd love to come back to New York for like a 2 week at a time and go catch a Broadway show and go to Jones Beach. But yeah, that'd be great. 2 weeks, I'm good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Jethro, you mentioned something that's one of the most underrated things, and I've never heard anyone else mention it before, but in my late 20s, I spent a couple of years walking all over Manhattan also, on and off for a couple of years, like 2 weeks here, a month there, and what a great experience. I loved walking all over Manhattan in my late 20s. All hours of the day, warm weather at night. I mean, for young people, that's a awesome experience. I mean, I'm not so interested in it now, but I hope my sons get to do that.
Yeah, it's changed.
It's an architectural wonderland.
Hey, Jethro, did you know?
It's actually,
Jethro, have you met Masood Ayub?
No.
Okay.
Who is that?
Writes on handguns a lot and was a New York detective.
No, I've got to look him up.
Okay.
Do you know how to spell his name, Greg?
Yeah, I think it's Masoodayyoub, something like that.
New York's changed. Manhattan is still Manhattan. You still walk through, go down 42nd Street and Broadway and hear all the languages being spoken. It's a little bit more congested now, but now there's parts of Brooklyn and Queens where it's like a small Manhattan. You hang out. Allison would definitely know exactly the places where these are, because these are the places she used to grow up in, and now they've been gentrified and really been really nice. Where I used to live in Williamsburg and Greenpoint, there's parts in Queens. Yeah, it's like a small Manhattan. You could definitely have that New York vibe and not be in Manhattan. You're more than welcome to come, Sevy. I'll show you around, and you too, Greg.
I'm gonna guess Allison's listening, and I tease her about New York a lot. But now that her name's been mentioned, it's amazing how many people hold her so dear as one of just their favorite people on earth. I know our whole family feels that way about her.
Yeah, it's that New York vibe is something that is real. Is real. She's good people.
All right, Jethro, Sevy, let's plan a visit. I gotta go, guys.
All right, cool. Let me know.
Love everyone. Excited you only got 2 years left, man. I'm happy for you. I can literally.
Thank you. I don't think I'll go more than one day past it. So we'll be making our arrangements for.
Thank you for your service to the great people of New York.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
You were talking about seeing every inch of that city and riding the subways and all. Was that some of that on the job?
No, I work the first county to the right. to the east of New York. But like I said, I grew up in Brooklyn. I've lived in Queens. I've hung out in the Bronx, Manhattan, even Staten Island. I got to drive through to go to New Jersey. So I've seen it all, and I've pretty much done it all. I'm pretty happy about that. So, but as far as work, the 20 years is plenty for me. And then I just want to do chapter number 2 of my life.
Fantastic, brother. All right, Sevy, let's get together, man. Let's go to the bike shop.
All right. Let me know.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Bye. All right. Greg Glassman. This guy, he mentioned Massad Ayoob, the gun guy. Massadayoob. I wonder if this guy's on Instagram. He seems more like a Twitter guy. Last night I sent out, oh man, I don't know, 15 requests for CrossFit Games athletes. I'm going to start hopefully getting these guys to pour in here. Olivia Kerstetter, James Sprague, Ariel Lowen, Lydia Fish. Lydia, I sent you a DM and then I lost you. If someone can put me in touch with Lydia Fish, that would be cool. I sent out one to Brooke Wells, Danielle Brandon. Who else? Chris Ibarra. Oh, Nick Johnston, Tia Toomey, Alex Guzan. I know Gabby's not going to the games, but I'd like to get her on the show. I sent her a request. Also, there's something interesting going on Hiller's YouTube. I haven't seen it yet, but I keep hearing about it. I think Andrew has a challenge. Where is that? Oh, Hiller. Oh, I guess I have to go to his. Wow, Andrew has 61,000 YouTube subscribers. That's double the amount I have. I remember when we used to have the same amount. Can you finish this workout?
Only cool people got to be up front. That's the people who did the workout. Everybody else got to get behind.
Yo, Erica.
Paul?
How you doing?
Good. It's going to be tight.
This is Beat Bajent 2025. Just sort of a boondocking shotgun sort of workout that can pop up out of anywhere. If you were paying attention to the workout where Erica Folo was dragged through that 76-minute monstrosity for Derek Gallagher's birthday against Tyson Bajent, you may have seen at the end of it that there was a teaser for Beat Bajent 2025. We're bringing this one into Erica Folo's wheelhouse. And in true Nopin fashion, and only the true homies know what the Nopin is, there is going to be one singular leaderboard where both the men and the women compete against one another. Yeah! We know that Tyson Bajent is the fittest quarterback in the NFL, but we also know that in a straight-up CrossFit workout, he's going to have a hard time against Erica Folo. So it was up to me, the master programmer, as a YouTuber, to come up with something that would test the two of them.
By the way, Andrew does have a very successful, he doesn't push it at all, which is crazy, and yet it's so successful program that you can jump on. I don't even know how to do it. I don't even, but just to start searching for Hiller Fit or Andrew Hiller's programming, and it's there. And he spends a shitload of time on it.
Mano y mano, straight up on one leaderboard. And this is the workout. It is a 100-calorie row followed by 100 burpees over the rower. Here's the catch. You got a 10-minute time cap on the thing.
That's ridiculous.
You can sign up for this thing on Competition Corner. It's $5. And then there's some sort of like a charge where you got to pay $1 for the registration fee. I don't know. But here's the deal. It's one nearly impossible workout to finish. You think? See this shirt? This is from Vindicate. Vindicate makes my shirts.
Oh, he just called out James Sprague. He said it's impossible to finish. Like you can't do that. What is the time? Let's say you can do 100 burpees in 6 minutes. How long does it take to row 100 calories? I have no idea. I don't do calories. I always just do distance. Does anyone know how many can you do? How does that work? What's the
If
breakdown
you
on
beat
that?
Tyson Bagent on this workout and you provide a video link to that workout, you will be sent a link to be able to purchase the trophy. That's right, you got to buy the trophy. It's like a badge of honor that you can get from Vindicate, vndka.com. The winner of the competition, again, if you provide a video.
Very innovative. You buy the trophy. I fucking love that. Hey.
Hi, Jason. This is Chris, and I'm responding to the application you submitted for health insurance.
Are you
Are you looking for an individual?
Do you think you called me or do you think I called you? Fuck, why would you hang up on that? Let me call Taylor and find out what the time is on a for most 100 calories is 5 minutes for most. I don't even trust you. For fit motherfuckers it's 420. Oh, okay, then maybe I do trust you. Oh shit, so that's this is really hard.
What up? I was just watching the show, but I was behind.
Hey, what Hiller has this challenge where it's 100 calories and 100 burpees and you have to do it in 10 minutes.
On what?
He's just basically put this video out that's a challenge. It's called Beat Tyson Bagent. And the workout's 100 calories on the rower, 100 burpees with a 10-minute time cap. And he says it's nearly impossible to do. Can you do that?
100 cows and 100 burpees?
Over the rower, too.
Over the rower.
In 10 minutes.
Ooh.
Can I do 100 calories
hard,
in
right?
10 minutes?
Yeah, you can do 100 calories in 10 minutes.
So I could get through the row. What is a good what's it just a normal like if there's a fat girl at CrossFit Charlotte, what'd she get on the rower for 100 calories?
Oh. For me, probably 10 minutes. So you probably are good.
I'm gonna try this today.
You're gonna try 100 cows, or you're gonna try 100 cows and 100 burpees?
Yeah, listen, let me ask you this, Taylor. If I don't do it and should I quit at 10 minutes or should I finish the workout?
No, just do it. Yeah.
Just do the
100
workout.
and 100.
Okay. And then just notice at the 10-minute mark where I'm at. So if I'm like at 7 burpees or something.
Exactly.
That would be, what's that called? My tie break time.
Yeah, your reps at 10 minutes.
Yeah.
40 something.
You think it matters which one you do first? I mean, I think you have to do the calories first, but do you think like if he said you can do it
I would disagree. I think doing the burpees first is easier.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you could do it either way, you would do the burpees first.
Yes.
Okay. Rambler.
If it's burpees first, there's not a doubt in my mind I could do it either way. But if it's burpees last, I think it hurts a lot more than if it's burpees first, in my opinion. I mean, doing 100 burpees in 5 minutes is like
insane.
At a higher level, it's not that crazy. So doing like 100 burpees in 5 minutes is like, yeah, moderate. And then rowing 100 calories in 5 minutes is easy at that level. But, so if you do the burpees first, that's definitely like 100 burpees in 5 minutes is a little harder, I think, than 100 calories in 5 minutes. So
could I
burpees first?
Could I just at any time during the day, let's say like you were just like sitting in front of the TV with your arm around Lizzie, just chilling, and I walked in your house and said, "Hey, I'll give you $1,000 if you can do 100 burpees in 5 minutes." You could just get up and go to the garage and do it.
Yes.
That's just a given.
Yeah, cold, no warm up.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's fucking
nuts. And I think I could also do 100 burpees and 100 calories in 10 minutes, cold, no warm up.
No,
but 100 calories then 100 calories then 100 burpees would be harder. But I can still do it. I would probably want to warm up for that more. That would just hurt more.
How many meters is 100 calories approximately?
I don't know, a little over 1,000. Probably not a little over 1,000, maybe like 1,500 meters.
Dude, even I can do 100 burpees in 5 minutes. Oh my!
Who said that?
Pat Lange. Pat.
No, Pat Lange can't do shit.
Pat. You can't do 100 burpees in fucking 8 minutes, dude. And I won't even make you jump at the top of the burpees. Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? Wow.
I don't know. Pat Lane strikes me as someone who has like that aggressive alcoholic softball coach in them.
No,
where, like,
no,
he just
dude.
can do-
He's old and he outweighs me by 30 or 40 pounds, dude. There's no fucking way. Yeah, 7 minutes is fast. I think 7 minutes is fast too for 100 burpees.
7 minutes is a little under 15 a minute.
Yeah, 15 a minutes. You're cruising.
Think about this. To row 20 cals a minute, you just have to row to 1250. That's easy. Like any semifinal athlete can row a 1250. Maybe not any, but I would say any top semifinal athlete can row a 1250 no matter how fucked up they are. They're just sitting on the rower rowing 1250. It's easy. So you do a 5-minute 100 burpee and then you just row 1250 for 5 minutes. That's an easy day.
Pat just says,
Is the challenge? What is the challenge specifically? Does it matter which you start with?
yeah, it does. You have to start with the rower.
Oh,
Pat says
okay.
he's going to
I mean,
do
I
it.
still think-
Pat, there's no way. Pat, you won't even get to 70 burpees in 5 minutes, dude. I'm not, it's not a dig at you. It's
Hey,
just
I
you
still
won't.
don't think that challenge is that hard. Is
You
that
don't?
like some challenge for top athletes? Yeah, no. I mean, if you go like you take the challenge to like any affiliate, I bet there's one person in any affiliate that can do that.
Jake Chapman says, hey, you're supposed to stop at 10 minutes. If you keep going, you're stupid. You don't think I'll get
No,
a
you're
good
not
stint?
supposed to stop at 10 minutes. Jake Chapman's a pussy, dude. Don't say he's the guy who tells you to scale even when it's like a workout that you shouldn't scale. Like, oh, how should I scale this 1 mile run? Just fucking run the mile.
Oh, shit. Listen to this. Darren says, if Pat Lange does 100 burpees in 5 minutes, I'll give Taylor a handy. You just got a handy for doing nothing.
Wait, who's gonna give me a hand job?
Some dude named Darren that took a picture that highlights his butt.
Nice. Darren, you fucking wanker.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey, that show yesterday was fucking insanely funny.
Oh, thank you. I feel like the crank calls have just like taken the show to the next level.
The crank calls. Oh God, the one where you were talking about fucking big black cock, and the lady goes, "You're disgusting," and you yelled that she was racist.
Hey, do you think I took too many calls? Hiller was giving me some feedback yesterday, and he said I was torn because the calls were funny, but also I needed to hear you finish what you were saying.
I don't think so. I think it's clear to everyone who's watching that someone's fucking with you.
Yeah.
And what makes the bit so good is that like they can't like win. You are still taking them fucking with you, and you're winning.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
If you stop taking the calls, then they win. It means you're like annoyed. You're like, I have better things to do. But you're just like, you're fully integrating these calls into the show. It's so fuck, it's funny.
My pool boy agrees with Hiller's feedback. Pool boy says, I love listening to Sevon talk so much. I don't want to hear stupid prank calls. So thank you, pool boy, Mr. Chang.
Like a poor boy.
Jamie Ladner
Tiny
says,
Mike.
Andrew Hiller, I sent you a message.
Uh-oh. What's the message about? Hey, I'm about to publish my new website.
Oh, what is it?
I basically just ripped off a bunch of graphics that Will made and left in my Wix account.
Mm-hmm.
And used those to create a new website, you know?
Hey,
the desktop version.
Would you pay would you pay $20 to watch a video of pool boy railing his chick, Julia Cook?
No, I wouldn't pay any money. What?
I'd pay $20 to see that.
Shut the fuck up.
I want to see him. I want to see him carry her.
Why is what I can't figure out is how to get the
Hey, pool boy, can you just send me a
iPhone.
picture of you carrying her? It doesn't have to be having sex. I would like I want to see you carry her in the front rack for like, you know, I don't know. But how long does sex last? Like 82 seconds.
It's not working. What the fuck, over?
I sent Shane a really nice text message.
I saw that. Did you do it naked?
No, but I sent
No.
him. I'm gonna tell you what I sent him. It says I said
Oh, you fucking can.
I said, Shane, I'd love to have you or Tia on, or you or Tia or both on my podcast. The angle will be 100% admiration, glorification of her hard work and achievements. Like, I don't want her to think like I'm going to ask her, like,
Angle her out.
Like, I'm not going to be like, hey, why were you drinking 300 grams of caffeine during your pregnancy or advertising? I'm not going to I'm going to be just super cool. I'm just going to just love on her.
Right.
I'm just kind of blown away by her high rocks and her sickness. And then she's doing the games again. And she knows she's not like what she used to be because she's been training for high rocks. I just want to hear all that shit.
Love it.
And I invited Danielle Brandon on and Brooke Wells on.
That's recent you did that?
Yeah, I sent it to him in the last like 24 hours. Like last night I was just like, fuck it. I just started just power sending out requests. I just went to the games leaderboard and I just started sending out requests.
I would be shocked if either of them say yes. Not in like a.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's because they don't want to or they hate me? Or do you think that that's just what they tell themselves so that they don't have to come on and really that they're like, oh, it actually would be kind of cool to come on?
Do you want my honest opinion on why they don't want to come on?
Yeah.
You know, because then they definitely won't come on.
Oh.
I'm not going to do that. I think
Okay.
they're both great and they should both come on the show.
Yeah. All right. Olivia, you talk too much shit. But if they come on, it's gonna be good. I won't talk any shit. I'm gonna be just totally. It'll still be.
Talks too much shit.
I don't know, probably me. Well, for sure you, but I don't know who she's drinking to. But it'll be totally chill. And it won't be fake either. It'll just be I just want to talk to him.
I'm trying to figure out how to add menu buttons to the mobile version of my website.
Oh, Pat.
The desktop version is sick.
Pat says they don't hate you. They're afraid of the woke backlash if they come on. Oh, like people will be. Yes, someone told me that they don't subscribe to me or Hiller's YouTube channels because they don't want anyone to see that they subscribe to us. I was like, wow, that's like wearing a MAGA hat.
Dude, I don't think that's true at all.
Oh, I like that thought. What time is what if I go to Sentinel Training, will I see your new site?
Yeah, go to trainsentinel.com.
Trains and did you know how to spell Sentinel before you named your company that?
Yes.
Oh. Be honest. You're not telling the truth. You didn't know how to spell Sentinel.
No, I 100% am telling the truth, bro. Don't fuck with me, bro.
Oh, is this the new site that I'm looking at?
I can't tell because I have it paused because I don't want to.
It has like bathroom tiling at the top with you and Bryson rowing. And,
hold on, fuck. Oh yeah. There's a video. There's an autoplay video.
Yeah.
Yeah. All these graphics are Will's, and I stole them and like redid them in Canva.
Yeah, this is cool. I like this. I like the bathroom tiling, the splash guard you have at the top. Now that you own a house, you know what a splash guard is, right?
That's not bathroom tiling, bro. It's graph paper. Okay.
Oh shit. Maybe you should have some pencil.
Like,
maybe you should have some pencil writing on it then, so it looks like graph paper.
Why do you do that?
It looks like a splash guard in a bathroom. It looks like the tiling in a really nice shower. White tiling with a dark grout.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, that's exactly what I mean. Why do you do that?
Just telling you what it looks like. Hey, if I go to your Instagram account, will I see what's it called? What's that shit you put on the walls?
Oh, the new plywood? No,
Yeah.
no. I'll FaceTime you after the show and show it to you.
To keep out the oh no, I see it. I see it. I see it in this one with you and Lizzie and the dog. Did you do
Oh, true.
Did you do the roof too?
No, I'm gonna insulate the roof, but I'm not gonna put plywood up
Insulate.
there.
That's the word I was looking for. Insulate.
Now I can't fucking figure out how to get the header and the footer off the mobile site.
Dude, that's risky. You showed Lizzie showed you unpacking your suitcase. Do you remember when that games athlete showed all the things she was bringing to the games and there was a dildo in her kit? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
What if there would have been
Whoops.
a dildo? What if there would have been a dildo in your
Probably would have been like an ounce of meth.
Oh man.
No dildo, but maybe some crank.
Vindicate
that's
says check your views on mobile, optimized for mobile. And Barry McCockiner says the green.
Vindicate.
Oh, that's why Barry. You think you know more about hard drives and like equipment than me because you have some fucking app experience. You don't know shit about computers compared to me. About just in terms of their utility. Maybe you could change the motherboard on one, but you don't know the difference between the hard drives that work with the old Intel chips in the Mac versus the new M1s, M2s, M3s, M4s. You don't know any of that stuff. The stuff that's actually functional. Poor Barry's just like, fuck. You just got butt slammed, dude. No lube.
I still can't. Motherfuck. I just launched another ebook today too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it should be.
What's it
It
called?
must take a while. It's 100+ hotel and travel workouts. 136 workouts.
Hey, are you gonna beat Matthias Porter on the next swim workout?
Yeah, there will never be another swim workout where he has any chance of beating me. It'll be like 1,000 burpees and a fucking 4-foot swim.
You jump in the pool and get out.
Yeah. And if he thinks he's ready, I saw his dumb little comment. I'll be ready. No, you don't hurt as much as me ever, bro. I woke up yesterday at 5 a.m. I took a
Fat shit.
nails and stuff for pooping.
Yeah.
You there? Can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What'd you do? You woke up at 5, you took a fat shit.
Took a huge dump. And then at 6 a.m., I walked out my barn and I just did 100 burpee pull-ups for time cold. He's not doing shit like that.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. He's not. He's fucked. Barry didn't do the bucket. First of all, Barry didn't do the bucket challenge. Someone said, "Hey, remember Barry threw the ball into the bucket." He did not. That was Cave Dastro did that. Barry didn't do shit.
Oh, Cave did the ALS ice bucket challenge.
No, I went in my backyard. I'm such a fucking stud, and I counted off 60 paces, and I just first throw threw a baseball. I counted off 60 feet, 20 paces, and I threw a baseball at a bucket and hit it. And then Cave Dastro did it and put it in the bucket, which I'm gonna call bullshit on that. He used like 20 attempts at it. Mine was just a fucking one and go. Unless like you're a professional thrower, no one can throw better than me. My throwing's crazy. You know what?
You're throwing.
I went to NorCal class. Like I can just throw. I can hit anything. Like you could throw a grape at me as hard as you want from 25 yards away, and I'll catch it in my mouth. Like I can catch and throw like no other. I just know how to do it. I know the trick. I have crazy focus. You just stare at whatever you want, and your body will do the rest. It's like the only thing you don't have with pussy, you don't have to do that. You can just like put your dick down there and it'll just fall in the hole. You know what I mean? Like it'll just find the wet spot and squish in. But everything else, you just look at it and it just does it. And so when I was at the NorCal Classic, there were some dudes throwing the football around and they thought that they were gonna fuck with me and like throw me the football. and then I wasn't gonna be able to throw it. I'd fucking drilled a dude, and they were all like, "Oh shit!" Like, yeah, only Tyson Bagent is the only person who can throw a football better than me. Listens to the show. Just
You
the-
think you can throw a football better than you think you can throw a football better than me?
Yes.
You think you throw a baseball better than me?
I don't know. Did you play baseball?
I played baseball and football.
I don't know. I don't know. But and by better, I'll give
I
you
bet
like,
you
I'll
could throw
give,
the dick better than me.
I'll give you an example. Like I have this net at my house, and it's like 8 feet tall, and it has 6 openings in it, right?
Okay.
And I can sit with a bucket of baseballs from 35 feet away, and you can just point to one of the holes, and I can throw the ball in it every time, anyone you want. Like to where little kids are like, "Holy shit, he's magical." It's just how I am. I'm just magical at throwing stuff, frisbees, footballs, any object.
I wish that's how my dad was when I was learning how to play baseball. He would stand behind that fucking the L screen in the batting cage, and he would just fucking hit me with the baseball. He could never throw a fucking strike. He would just fucking welt me.
Good. It's not by choice that I'm that good. I just am. I'm not bragging. It just is what it is. Oh, you can. Are you gonna sign up for this Bagent challenge? It's only $5.
No,
Yeah, you should, dude.
I'll just tag him in the video.
Look it. It's on Competition Corner. And oh shit, there's already a shitload of people signed up.
I'm not allowed to sign up.
Why? Why not?
I take peptides.
No, Andrew signed up.
Oh, okay.
You think
Is he really?
you think Erica Folo could beat you at that workout?
No fucking shot.
Let me read
Not
you,
even with women's cows.
Let me read you some of the people's names. You tell me if you know them. Gustavo, Erica Folo, Spencer Cotton, Matt Benoit, Brendan Willis, Michael.
Brendan Willis is good, but I would still destroy him.
But Pool Boy, Mike Olivas,
Her boy. Yeah, no chance.
Ken Melody, Rakesh Menon,
Rakesh.
Aaron Hoffer, Mason Chicklets, Nick Billock, Avery. What about Avery Jesmer, John Young's friend?
No, she's cool, but she definitely could not beat me.
Corey Pope. Could any girl in the world beat you?
No.
Nathan Kermelj, Ryan Fulcher,
Tia.
Braden Johnson.
I don't think Tia.
Who?
Tia would need to row. She would have to row the Met. I don't know. She would have to row like, oof. And no, I still don't think any girl in the world could. No, there's no fucking way.
Oh, Andrew's
At
already.
70 cal still no.
Andrew wasn't able to do it. Andrew has his time in already.
Of course he wasn't able to do it. What was his time?
He got 91 burpees. It looks like. Oh, and Folo got 87.
If Hiller got 91, if Hiller got 91 burpees, I could get 120 in 10 minutes. If it was an AMRAP, 100 cal row, max rep burpees, I'm definitely getting over 120.
And then Folo got 187. So she got 87 burpees.
Bolo got 87 burpees,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to row 100 calories.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking good.
I think that's solid for a woman.
Especially getting over the rower couldn't have been easy for her.
Yeah, it's like getting over a 20-inch box.
It sounds like Augustus Link. Do you know who that is? Sounds like he's gonna do it.
Oh yeah, I know Gus.
Is he good?
Yeah, he does Sentinel. He'll fucking destroy it. He'll beat it.
It sounds like he's gonna do it tomorrow.
Hey, you know how when you're on your computer, you can copy something and then you can like paste it on your iPhone?
Yeah, that's cool. I love that shit.
It really fucking annoys me when it's not working.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I haven't done shit today. I've just been fucking working out all morning. Or sorry, working all morning. not working out. Pissed off.
You haven't worked
Angry.
out. It's noon and you haven't worked out.
It's noon and I got to go coach the 1 and then I'm going to work out in between classes and then I'll work out again this evening. I had to finish our website today and then do a bunch of other shit this morning.
Oh, someone texted me and said, interesting that the crank calls don't happen when Greg is on. Well, I turned the volume off on the calls. But the crank calls really have dwindled. Someone needs to sign me up again for something. Oh, shit. All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for the insights into the workout.
Yep. See you, bro.
Later. All right. Keeping it real, Augustus told me he would destroy Taylor at that workout. OTB, I don't know what that means. He said he would bitch slap Taylor at it. Wow. Sophia Cunningham. Sophie. Videos. Sophia Cunningham on the court. I'll protect my team. That one? So are you talking about the one where she pulls the chick down around the neck? I saw that. Don't act like you don't know what outside the box is, you penis. Is that the show with the girls? Did they make it to their 3rd episode? What happened to them? They fell off the radar. I guess I ended up having better content than to talk about them. What happened to them? What is that? What that's called? Outside the box. Let me see if they did a 3rd episode. Outside box friendly. Outside. Oh man, I want to apologize. My wife told me that someone made a really good joke on the show, Outside the Box. Outside the Box is an early education for brain development and sensory center for kids 8 weeks to 4 years old. So, oh my God, if you're doing shit like this with your kids, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you don't have a creative bone in your body that you need to do this with other people. That's fine. That's better than not doing it at all. Holy shit. Yesterday, I don't understand how like I don't have like 5,000 clients. I don't understand how like rich people all over California aren't visiting me and being like, "Hey, can you train my kids?" Like you guys have fucking no idea. I can't tell you how fucking great they are because it's beyond great. Yesterday, my 10-year-old graduated to the highest level at the Tennis Academy. It's like fucking college kids in the fucking class. I mean, he's not gonna win a single match in there or anything, but that's like how mature and fucking talented, and it's like it's nuts. It's hey Sevy, 2+ hours, 15 out of 10. Thank you, Jose. Look at dude, stop writing Joseph. You're fucking Jose. But thank you. That's free. That's free consultation on how your name works. You can't be a Joseph Ramirez. You could be a Jesus Ramirez. Oh shit, is that true? Bruce Willis can no longer speak. What happened to him? Damn. That sucks. So my wife told me that there was this joke. So I said, what did I say? I said it's fucked up when your husband screams out your sister's name while he's railing you. And someone in the chat said something along the lines, well, better than screaming out your brother's name. which makes it like a gay joke, right? But I misread, which is a great line. And I misread it, and I said, I thought the person was saying, or it's your brother screaming out your wife's name or something. Anyway, I kept it heterosexual, and someone spun it into a gay joke, and I fucked it all up. And my wife was telling me I fucked it all up. I love it when she points that shit out to me because I'm like, it's good because it makes me realize I'm not as good of a listener as I think I am. Yeah, that's like being Mike Matosian. I know that's retarded. Good, that's a great example, Mr. Lange. So anyway, I apologize. And on top of that, it was a girl who made the joke. I can't remember her name, who in the chat did it, but you don't get very many good jokes from girls, and then a girl gets one and I screwed it up for her. Yes, Steven Matosian. I got called Esteban a couple days ago again. Esteban. Yeah, 3rd grade reading level, 3rd grade math level. That's correct. That's accurate. All right, let's do one quick check. Let's do one quick check on the Diddy case. Oh, there's a bunch of shit. There's a bunch of shit I got to catch you up on. Okay. Wow, there's so much. You guys ready to hear me read a bunch of shit? Oh my God, there's so much. It's been like an hour since I've updated us, huh? Wow. Okay. Here we go. An hour ago. The jury in Sean Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy trial, which revealed some internal conflict during deliberations, was a racially diverse group of 8 men and 4 women who range in age from 30 to 74 and live in Manhattan, Westchester County, and the Bronx. The court has not released the names of the jurors, which is common in high-profile trials where their safety is a concern. On Wednesday, the jury announced that it found Mr. Combs not guilty of the most serious charges against him, sex trafficking and racketeering. During 28 days of often wrenching testimony, the jurors were punctual, attentive, and for the most part, impassive. I don't need the wrenching part. Just tell me, how about sexually explicit? And then 1 or 2 examples. I don't need your fucking interpretation of what wrenching is. Jurors heard of 2 of Mr. Combs' former girlfriends testify about the years of sexual encounters with male prostitutes known as freak-offs and hotel nights, which some were shown on video. They listened to testimony from former personal assistants, law enforcement officials, and hotel security officers who explained a $100,000 cash payment for incriminating footage of hotel assault by Mr. Combs. When the jurors began deliberating on Monday, they quickly raised concerns to Judge Arun Subramanian. It's an Armenian judge. Arun sounds Indian, but Subramanian sounds Armenian, who had sworn them in after a week-long selection process in May. After 1 hour in deliberations, the foreperson, that's the boss and the jury, reported an issue with one juror, identified as juror number 25. We are concerned the juror cannot follow your instructions, Your Honor. 11 hours later, the jury said it had reached the verdict on 4 counts, but could not on a racketeering charge because of unpersuadable opinions on both sides. In both cases, the judges told the jury to keep deliberating. 2 weeks ago, Judge Subramanian dismissed a juror after finding that he was given inconsistent answers about his residence, raising concerns that he might have been angling for a role in the case. Holy shit, I didn't know that. During the trial, Mr. Combs' lawyers argued unsuccessfully that it would unfairly affect their client if that juror, a state corrections department employee who is a black man, were removed. The original panel had at least 2 black women and 2 black men. The alternate who replaced the juror was a white man. During the trial, Mr. Combs was reprimanded by the judge after he nodded vigorously at the panel when his lawyers cross-examined a witness about a violent incident that she said had taken place on a balcony. The judge calls Mr. Combs' behavior absolutely unacceptable. At another point, Mr. Combs smile-mouthed cold to a juror who was rubbing his arms. The juror nodded and smiled back. The jurors have jobs in finance, healthcare, social services. There's also a massage therapist, a deli clerk, a dietary aide at a nursing home, and a retired Verizon field technician. Oh, this is crazy. Their allegations, right? Question mark. One male juror said during questioning in May, I'm old enough to have heard a lot of stories before trial. And then when the evidence is actually presented, things are, the truth comes out. The biggest victory was convincing the juror that the girlfriends were not coerced into the freak-offs. Like, how much detail did they give? Were they like, "Hey, 3 male prostitutes made me airtight. One put a penis in my mouth, one in my butthole, and one in my vagina"? Uh, uh, the jury got extorted or paid. Dude, how can you say that? How can you say that? And does that mean he's not guilty? Or does that mean he's guilty? Like, just because you paid him still doesn't imply that he was guilty. It just means that you're afraid that your peers are morons. Olivia, it got very detailed. Can I read it somewhere? What is a bit remarkable is that yesterday evening, the jury said it was deadlocked on the racketeering conspiracy charge, which accused Sean Combs of running a criminal enterprise responsible for crimes over 2 decades. It said there were unpersuadable opinions on both sides. Then this morning, jurors came to a full verdict less than an hour after deliberations. You know what they were talking about? They were talking about how if the jury doesn't decide, that they'll have to do it over the 4th of July weekend. Can you imagine people feeling rushed because they want to go to a barbecue with their fat fucking friends over determining a guy's sentence for the rest of his life? Crazy. This is the Ultraviolet Women's Rights Organization. This is a decisive moment for our justice system, one which threatens to undo the sacrifice of courageous survivors who stepped forward to share their stories in this trial, as well as to all those abused by Diddy who weren't able to. Today's verdict is not just a stain on a criminal justice system that for decades has failed to hold accountable abusers like Diddy. It also an indictment of the culture in which not believing women and victims of sexual assault remains endemic. In a statement in response to the verdict, Jay Clayton, interim U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York, which prosecuted the case, said sex crimes deeply scar victims, and the disturbing reality is that sex crimes are all too present in many aspects of our society. Victims endure gut-wrenching physical and mental abuse, leading to lasting trauma. New Yorkers and all Americans want this scourge stopped and perpetrators brought to justice. Prosecuting sex crimes requires brave victims to come forward and tell their harrowing stories. I was paid $3 million to fuck a bunch of male prostitutes. Two members of the public got into a shouting match about the trial. One was pleased, the other dismayed, and they were encircled by spectators with cameras. Many content creators continued live streaming the commotion. Damn, I wish Andrew was there. Ken Walters, I'm heading to Clydesdale. Another good show, Sevi. Well, thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Don't the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Thanks. If you would have left and not told me, I would have been like, where is he? Where's Ken? Holy shit, where's Ken? No, it's not bye, Ken. It's bye-bye. Oh, shut it, Grant. You said it was a good show. Yeah, I'm going to go too. Fuck it. Okay. Love you guys. Head on over to Clydesdale. Watch Scott Schweitzer. I'm going to go do that too. Well, I diddle away in my garden. Diddle myself in my garden. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.